time for Cigar Talk, the fastest growing cigar show in the nation. Whether you're a new cigar enthusiast or a cigar aficionado, we have something for everyone, bringing you the best interviews, cigar reviews, and weekly giveaways. So grab yourself a cigar.
It's time to light 'em up.
Welcome back to Cigar Talk. I'm your host, Rob Jones. We got Brian Falconer, co-host of Cigar Talk. What's going on, bro?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, bro.
So this is kind of like one of the more unusual episodes that we normally do, just because, you know, we plan on doing some things majorly different.
Yeah.
We're basically going to recap the Streamathon.
Oh, most definitely.
And so, you know, I have a lot of mixed feelings. I'm like, what was that chick's name that had multiple personalities? Sybil. I'm like Sybil. You know what I'm saying?
Like Sybil. We already knew that.
Yeah.
He's just, as they say, denial is not just a river in Egypt.
Yeah, but I don't deny. So, no, I have mixed emotions about how it all happened.
Uh-huh.
Because you know that when I plan something, I have a vision.
Yes.
And when you've never done it before,
it's an askew.
Your vision is like
wallered out.
Boom! Bryant used Wallard. So just so you guys know, before this, we did a Light 'em Up cruise show, which is just for the Patreons. And I used the word Wallard, and Bryant looked at me like,
what the heck is wrong
what
with
is
you?
that?
He just invented another word.
Right. He thought I invented it, and I told him, I gave him many examples of how to use the word, and then he didn't believe me, so he looked it up, and sure enough, Google says Wallard
is a word.
And what does it mean?
It says bored out. When you bore out something.
So I use that word often. I don't know how you missed it.
Wow. It was educational. I have to say that.
Yeah.
It was educational.
I mean,
we hit all aspects in the podcast.
And I said that it was a Southern word, and you thought it was just Lubbock.
Yeah.
But no.
It's actually just a Southern word, but it exists. It is real.
It's like, you know, I stuck a bolt in that nut that was too big, and after twisting the wrench many times, I wallered out the hole. I mean, that's one way.
Yeah.
So,
I think he called Siri and got her to put it on Google. Got her to put it on Google.
So I don't know. Let me just say this. I don't know how most of you guys, I know a lot of you have iPhones. And my question is, like, when you say, hey, Siri, what's her response? Because my bitch says, huh?
You know, it ain't like that. She's like,
Right. And then you notice I called her a couple times. She didn't even answer.
She used a few nasty words. She said, I don't answer to that. I was like, yeah, that's perfect for you, bro.
I don't like your attitude.
My Siri's a black woman.
Oh, here we go.
She ain't taking no shit.
Not from you.
After last week.
Are my lions? Dude, she's like,
like what?
Whenever I say something to her, she doesn't even make a sound. She just looks at me like, you know better.
You better act right.
If Siri looks at you,
yes,
you know you're in trouble.
You're in real trouble.
Well, I can tell you that her head is looking up and her eyes are looking down.
Oh.
So like, what?
And normally, I prefer it the other way around.
Yes.
Your head down, your eyes looking up.
We tried to recap this.
All right, you know what? This is not the Light 'em Up cruise show. This is a regular show. Let's move on from Siri, that little whore bitch.
Oh, Lord.
Anyway, what are you smoking, bro?
Man, I'm trying to finish this Gurkha. What is it? The Revenant. Revenant. Good stick. Gurkha has changed our minds about things.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people are like, hey, Rob, what do you really think? Well, what I really think is I bought a box, I enjoyed it, and I bought another box.
Let you know what he thinks.
I mean, you guys should know that if I'm spending my cold, hard cash, it's something I dig, period.
100%.
So, anyway, what are we drinking?
Where was it? That 1776?
We got the James Peppers 1776.
Yes, sir.
And I'm
There's
a
no
big
camera,
fan.
we ain't showing
Like,
it.
yeah, we're not
I
showing
thought
it.
you needed another drink.
No, I'm good.
Yeah,
Sit it down.
I'll keep it over here then.
Larry's on the show.
Live.
We're not doing video, so we were like, well,
Put him on the show.
we're not just going to let him drink.
Nope. He's going to have to work this time.
Damn it.
He usually does that when he's doing video.
Yep.
I mean, have you ever watched our video? It'll be on
Yeah.
like you for like 15 minutes.
And then pop
and then
you.
it goes over to me for like 30. I'm like, keep it going back and forth.
Back and forth.
I'm busy. Hey, I'm busy over here.
We know.
Yeah, he's smoking. He's drinking.
Drinking.
Yeah.
More
Talking shit.
drinking.
Talking shit.
So,
Talking shit.
anyway, so guys, I hope you enjoyed the Streamathon. I mean, I wasn't a viewer, so I don't know how well or not so well that it was on your end, but I can tell you this, it was an experience
Yes.
that at the end of the day, we felt triumphant.
Yeah. Because we set out to do something. We had a goal. Now, the way
we passed the goal
goal.
in the money department. And you know what? That is a testament to the cigar community.
Oh, yes.
That is a testament to the Cigar Talk Patreon.
Oh, yes.
Because half of the guys that won the auction
We're Patreons.
were Patreons. And you know what? That made me feel very proud
Yeah.
of the people, because you know what I thought about, and we're not strict on who we let become Patreons.
True.
But we are on sponsors. You know what I mean? We're very strict on sponsorship. And it's like, we haven't been that way on Patreons, but what I found is I think we have the best of the best.
Oh, yeah. We got a great group, man. Great group.
I mean, the support that they give.
Oh.
There was one point in time on the Streamathon that some dude came on and said, "This is the worst production I've ever seen." And I was like, hey, I was going to say, I'm sorry. I should have done more.
You didn't have
And
to.
I didn't ever get a chance to type that out because the Patreon group became a pack of piranhas.
It was just like, who let the
Blood
dogs
is in the
out?
water.
They went after him.
And you know what? And I appreciate the support.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, hey, let's not be assholes.
And they was like, forget you, Rob. We out.
I was like, let's not be assholes because, we are the cigar community.
They let it go.
And they were like, you know what? Go do your fucking own Streamathon.
We just lost the PG.
Well,
Without the cameras.
Well,
Things
if we
happen.
had cameras, the PG would have been over when we started because I'm just sitting here naked.
Oh, my God. Everything about the Streamathon from the night before to the night of was a walk, man. Dude,
It was a journey.
you outdid yourself. First of all, because you took this undertaking on by yourself. And even though it didn't go the way you wanted it to go, the goal was still accomplished. The goal was still accomplished. It was learning. It was a learning experience because you learned a lot. We learned a lot from the side to the point where we said, you're not doing this by yourself anymore.
I felt like I had shown up at like a medieval, what are those things? Jousting event.
Yeah.
But I showed up with a sword and not a joust.
And they were getting you from a long range. By the time you got there, it was over.
He just kept poking me, and I kept swinging. But no,
Why?
it was a huge learning curve, and it made me also realize that I don't need to do it all by myself.
Thank you.
And because it's not that I don't know how to ask for help.
Yeah.
And I just don't. I'm not that kind of guy. I say, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And then I have a plan, and then we go for it. And then at the end of the day, what happens.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it the best that I possibly can because I didn't know how it was going to work.
Yeah.
But once I start seeing how it's going to work, I adapt quickly and shift. And, you know, Saturday was just an example of, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm going to keep driving forward. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, we know better next time. Yeah. That's all
we
I
got.
can do.
That's what we got from it. That's why we refuse to allow you to do it by yourself again. This is too important.
You fucked up, Rob.
This is too important. And it's not that you messed up. It was just that it was too immense of an undertaking for one man to take on his own. Even though it's your vision, you still have people around you that can help. You got to use our strengths. And I'm telling you, you did a great job for what you had. What you had, you're your biggest critic. We all know that. So you're like, it still was this, still.
It's because I have a little dick.
However, in the end, what was done allowed us to see, and you to see what we can do better.
Well, we can do better, 100%. Because now that we've done that, I have a whole different vision.
Yeah.
And we will talk about that immensely between now and next year.
Yeah.
But I have a different vision because we actually went through with it.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is what I'll say to anyone. Don't think about what you want to do and then think that you have to plan it out and make it perfect before you do it.
Because it's not going to happen.
It'll never happen if you're waiting for everything to fall into place.
Because it doesn't.
But when you just go for it, you learn a ton. And when you get to that point where you learn a ton, I guarantee next year is going to be 10 times better.
Yeah.
And I guarantee the next year is
better.
going to be Jerry fucking Lewis good.
I got you. Got you.
Maybe not Jerry Lewis good, but you know what I'm saying.
But it took years for him to get to that point, too.
Oh, yeah. And he did it for over a decade.
Yeah, and then he had a massive production being done. So it was way more than just him doing it by himself.
Network.
Yes, him doing it by himself. So,
but that guy was my idol growing up.
Everybody watched that telethon, man.
And the thing about it is, as a kid for me, I loved the old Abbott and Costello. You know what I mean? And then whenever you get from when you're 4, 5, and 6, watching that guy be funny and being the guy that brings laughter into the television room, and it's like 20 years later, well, really like 15 years later, you're watching this guy give up 24 hours for a straight telethon to give back.
Yeah. And it was Lewis and Martin.
And that's inspirational. You know what I mean?
He went Abbott and Costello, but it's Lewis and Martin.
Well, you remember, and Dean Martin.
Yeah.
Dean Martin did a lot of stuff with Abbott.
No, he didn't. He did it with Lewis.
Oh,
Jerry Lewis.
Oh, who did I say?
Abbott. Abbott and Costello.
Damn, folks, I'm thinking of the wrong routine.
Who's on first? But it comes down to your vision of what you were trying to do was great. It really was. How it went about to get there
was rough.
It was rough. But in the end, what you wanted and what we wanted, which was to help the soldiers,
we wanted
the military members. That's what came out of it.
And we raised over $4,000.
Yeah, more than the goal.
My goal was $2,500
more than the
because
goal.
I never did a charity event.
Yeah.
But you know what? We will never be Cigar Talk ever again without doing at least one charity event in the calendar year.
Yeah, because that's what it's about. That's what the community is about.
I felt like when we decided to do it, that's something that we had been missing.
Yeah.
We've donated cigars and other shit to cigar members, but to do it on a larger scale to be a benefit, which I can't think of a better beneficiary than our soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
And Larry says, all people in armed forces are not soldiers. So I hope you noticed I gave a great effort in saying men and women of the armed forces.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, Rob. I'm proud of you.
I appreciate the feedback because I know I normally try to name off men and women, but then I've always just said soldiers. I didn't know because I'm not an anal retentive Air Forceman.
Chair Forceman.
Something like
I own it.
But no, that's great news. That's great information to have because when I'm supporting a group of people, I don't want any of them to be offended in the way I go about doing it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm like, hey, we donated over $4,000 fucking dollars.
We helped you.
If I called you a soldier, get in line at the YMCA.
Oh my gosh.
No. You know what? God bless the soldiers, the men and women of the armed forces in whatever branch they're in that protect our country and give the sacrifice daily.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I sacrificed for a few weeks for doing this.
They sacrifice every day for
their
enlistment. Yes, sir.
Dude, when I was talking to Tom from Placencia yesterday, he was in the Navy and he retired. And when he got home, his son was 6.
Mm.
He missed the first 4 or 5 years, 6 years in general.
Yeah.
That's a sacrifice.
Yeah, it is.
Because that is a very important time to be a leader in the home, but he wasn't able to be there. So, I mean, when I was talking to Tom, I was like, wow, you think about those years.
Yeah.
Those
you can't get them back.
You cannot get those years back. And so hats off and a big thank you to all of our men and women that sacrifice every day for us.
Yeah. When you walk that walk, you understand it, you appreciate it. And as a veteran, me and Larry both understand, and we appreciate when you came up with the idea, I was like, yeah, that's 100%, man, because as we talked with a gentleman that, an airman, he's an airman, wasn't he, that received cigars from Cigars for Warriors. And like he spoke it. It was like, it was something from home. It gave you that opportunity to be like, okay, this is something from home. You know, I'm out here in the middle of the desert, but this is home, and it's an opportunity for everybody to come together and just sit back and just whatever's going on around you doesn't even exist right now. It's all about getting just a little bit of home, and that's the blessing of it.
And
man.
I'll say this, you know, the most disappointing part to me was that some people could hear the audio and some people couldn't, and then some of the audio was just shit. But for those who were able to hear, like our guests come on the show, I mean, I got to hear all of it, and it was just a blessing to me at how passionate these different cigar manufacturers and influencers felt about donating and raising awareness and funds for the Warriors, which is all of our armed forces. That brought it home for me.
Yeah, because without the Warriors, we don't have what we have today.
Right.
We don't.
And then when Larry came in tonight, he was like, dude, I really enjoyed the interview with Michael Slade.
Oh, yeah, he did.
The founder of Case Elegance. And it's like, yeah, and that was great. And then Yonko with Tabanero comes on, and, you know, dude's red, white, and blue.
Yeah, tried and true.
I mean,
tried and true.
And he's making cigars for a living. And he knows the benefit of living in America. I mean, he's been in Nicaragua for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And he said, you know what? I loved everything about Nicaragua. I enjoyed my time there. But coming home to America, where we are free.
And And then Al said the same thing.
Oh, dude, talking to Al, I mean, I could never get tired of that. Could you? I mean, if I could get like a 15-minute recording from Al every day. Al, how about that, buddy?
Send that out.
I'll work with you on it. Let's just do a 15-second inspirational, Al McAuliffe quote every day. Because
Al's corner.
Al is exemplified what it is to be an American under freedom. And you know what? I know that there's different levels of who can be successful in a way, but there also is no restrictions on who can be successful. You know what I'm saying?
Especially here in this country.
Like in different racial communities, in different age categories, in different income level. There's been people in America at all different levels in those groups that have become successful. So if that doesn't like churn up your patrioticness, you know what I mean? That's we support the soldiers and we support the way of life we have.
Oh yeah.
I don't care how bad you think it is here. Move on down to wherever,
anywhere,
see what it's like.
Anywhere.
We're not perfect.
No.
But we got it pretty damn good.
For real.
We got it pretty damn good.
For real.
And I mean, I could go on a 3-hour tour
of
what I think about politicians.
A 3-hour tour.
Yeah, 3-hour tour on that. But bottom line is, a lot of people wish they were here.
Oh, yeah.
It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than a lot of other places you could be.
Seen every day. Every day. Seen every day. And then you had Jay just giving us the facility, allowing us to be there to tape it, and was a part of every aspect of it.
Well, the night before, he helped me set up all the equipment.
Everything.
Make sure we had what we needed. Now, I will say this, though. So you're aware that Doug and Dave were there for the Kentucky Derby.
Yes, that's correct.
And just the day before, Doug said, we're expecting 35 people to be here. And you know what? I am so thankful that they only had 3. Because 35 people on top of what we had, holy moly, that would have been crazy.
Yes. It was an experience. And from that experience, we learned a lot. We were able to bless because the goal was met. The goal was overpassed. And what we did, what you did, your vision, even though it wasn't perfect, is giving exactly what it's doing exactly what it was supposed to do. It's helping out. It's showing who the community really is. It's showing what we talk about for the last 3 years every day.
And let me tell you this. This is one of the things that I appreciate the most about the entire Streamathon is that I do have a group of very close friends that allowed me to do what I do and not be like, well, fuck that dude. Because I can be very overbearing. I can be like, I'm going to shut you down because I'm not.
He's not bending.
I'm not doing it.
He sees it one way and that's the way it's going to be. But you had a group of people that understood that. And we were there for you, not because of you, but for you.
A lot of fair-weathered friends
would
have got butthurt and been like, well, fuck that dude.
Yeah, but
he's an asshole.
But it didn't happen.
Except with Larry.
Well, yeah.
But it was an opportunity.
And I apologized to Tim afterwards. I was like, hey, man, I'm sorry if I got out of line and I was a dick. And he was like, no, man, I completely understood where you were at, where you were going.
Yeah.
And more power to you. Yeah. And I was like, that's why we've been friends for 38 years.
And I was just sitting back there trying to, especially when you started to get to that point where things weren't going the way you wanted them, and your fuse was short, I was just like, leave him alone, but leave him alone, let him go. He's got it, because you had to force your way through it.
And Tim told me at one point, like somebody reported this was going wrong, and one person was like, "Hey, tell Rob this isn't working," blah 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 blah. And I don't know who said it, but it was like, I ain't telling Rob shit.
Yeah. I ain't getting caught up in that now.
And I'm like, I don't know who that was, but I appreciate it because you knew the intensity level that I was at. And we'll go back to this. We talked about it on the cruise show. But when it was knee deep in about as much stress as I've had, my wife comes in, leans over my shoulder, taps me on the shoulder, and then gives me a good kiss. And I'm like, that woman right there brings me right back to why I'm even here. To raise money for the troops.
It was perfect.
And
it was perfect.
It was in my complete favorite interview.
Yeah, with
Carlito.
Yeah.
The godfather of the cigar industry.
Come on now.
And you know what? I talked to somebody else and they were like, well, this company was in business before Carlito.
Don't matter.
And I was like, Carlito is the godfather of the industry when you put someone's face on it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
I mean, you got some great guys that are leading the pack for our freedoms.
However,
but when you see Carlito and his passion mixed with the wisdom that has been passed on from his father to him, wow. I was like, dude, you take wisdom and passion and jam them together, you got Carlito.
Yes, sir. And it explodes too. He lets you know.
I'd never interviewed him before, and I hope that I get the opportunity to interview him just one-on-one on the show. And I'm going to try to make that happen within the next couple of months.
Okay.
But that time where I was able to spend talking to him and never having that opportunity before was like, I'm going to tell you, I could hear the angels in the background and they were tuning up. I was like, whoa.
You were sitting back there and it was more of you listening than talking.
Oh, I was like, don't interrupt this dude. Do not.
Just let him go. Just let him go.
If he pauses for like 3 seconds, ask him a question that's going to get him right back in there.
Keep him engaged.
Because I want to hear his thoughts.
Keep him engaged.
And
you did.
They did not disappoint. And then, I don't know if we said this already, but
we did.
Larry did.
You did.
Case Elegance.
Yeah, you did.
Michael Slate came on the show, on the stream. He's on his way to spend time with family on a boat at the lake.
Yeah.
And he
took out
time to come on and give a few words about the cigar community, about what it takes to be the best.
Yes.
And the guy is like nonchalantly saying, we're going to do it the right way or we're not going to do it at all.
Yeah.
And that's like, if you're buying a humidor and you're not checking out Case Elegance,
wasting your time.
I don't care if you buy the cheapest or the most expensive. When you get a cigar humidor from Case Elegance, you're going to get the top of the line quality. And we cut a humidor in half and saw the other side of the coin, which for the same price, you can buy a complete piece of shit.
Yes, you can. Or you can get some craftsmanship, something that's going to go a lot, because we know cigars are an investment. You don't spend $2 on a cigar. You spend money on your cigar, and you want to be able to use that, enjoy that stick whenever. So you spend $200 on a humidor that's lying to you about the humidification. First of all,
well, I mean, dude, they have humidors for $130.
Yes. And we took it apart. You even took the hygrometers,
Dude.
and put them in there.
Dude.
And you saw how the one, I don't know what that maker was. It lied. It was 12 degrees higher.
Their Case Elegance was one over what I thought mine should be. And I've calibrated mine more than once.
Yeah.
So, and on my calibration, it even says a 1% over or under.
Uh-huh.
And they are 1 over. And to see that my humidor shows 72 on them, but 83, 84
on that,
on
other-
the cheap one,
Yeah.
I was like, you'd be better off just putting 72 on it with a marker and
leaving it
being done.
there, yeah.
Because, that way you're always good.
Yeah.
But that just shows the deception and the corporate greed that's out there on the
That's
Amazon
true.
market.
That's true. That's true.
I you know what? I buy a ton of shit on Amazon, but I can tell you this, the more and more you order off Amazon becomes more and more of a fucking gamble because the reviews are all bullshit.
Yeah, not the truth.
It's like I look for the negative reviews
'Cause that's where you're
and
gonna see
then
the
try
truth.
to judge if that person is a complete moron.
Are they just lying?
I mean,
out
if you're a moron, I understand you couldn't figure it out, but
Yeah.
I'm not a moron.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. But if it's shitty quality, I need to know that.
up front? Yeah.
And that's where I am on Amazon reviews. But anyway, so let's talk about the Leaf for a minute. They allowed us to come in,
Yes, sir.
set up shop,
Yes, sir.
basically take over the entire
Havana room.
Havana room
Yes, sir.
for our Streamathon.
Yes, sir.
And Jay supports the soldiers like nobody's business. And airmen and Marines and Navy guys.
And Coast Guard.
Yeah, all of them. And so, because Larry started getting I seen a vein popping in his head. He wasn't going to say nothing, but I didn't want him to stroke out.
I was fine. I was going to stab you in the neck, but everything's good.
Okay. So, but anyway, I had, with Jay being our host,
Yeah.
I mean, dude, we had the space. We had all the alcohol we could drink. We had all the water we could drink. We had all the food we could eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what a host.
Yes. And throughout the event, he was there making sure everything was still going. What he could provide
And
was perfect.
his parents from Hawaii
Yes,
are in
here.
town.
Yeah.
And instead of hanging out with them, he's up there with us.
Yeah. Making sure that this thing goes through.
He wanted to make sure that it was the best that it could be, and we appreciate that. And if you haven't ordered from Jay before or the Leaf, I say Jay, but it is the Leaf.
Yeah.
Call them up. We're going to put their phone number down in the show notes.
Show notes.
Dude, they've got McAuliffe.
Yes.
They got Tabanero.
Yes.
They have AJ.
Yes.
They have all the Arturo Fuentes. They have, I mean, dude, the list, the Padrones.
Yes.
The Perdomos.
Perdomos.
I mean, their humidor is extensive.
Yes.
Romacraft.
Yes.
Partagas. Crux. Aladino. I mean, dude, they bring in everything they can that they know we want to smoke. And so for that, I say thank you, Jay, but also supporting the cigar community and the Cigars for Warriors.
Yeah.
We want to say thank you.
Truly.
And then we jump in to Tabanero. Yanko was the first on the
guest,
live
sure
stream.
was.
He had just recently got back from Nicaragua.
Patient with us.
And I don't know if you know, but I just ordered 2 boxes of Tabanero, and one of them is the sun-grown in the Bellicoso,
Wow.
which is like a double torpedo. And the ring gauge is 58, which is normally too big for me. But because it's like a torpedo on each end, it's like a 54.
So you good.
I cannot wait for us to get in here and smoke some of those here in the studio.
Yeah. I appreciate his conversation too, because he showed his true understanding of what it means, what the armed forces really means, and he's supporting them 100%. And that's what we're looking for. That's what we were about. That event Saturday was a culmination of what we feel the cigar community is totally about. 100%.
And really, I think you nail it on the head, because when I look at like our people, we got Jay.
Yep.
We got Tabanero.
Yep.
We got McAuliffe.
Yep.
Ooh, McAuliffe.
And then we have
Case Elegance.
Case Elegance. And then we have the best cigar community in our Patreons. Because these are guys that, dude, when you talk about always having that support for you, even when you think that things couldn't be any worse, they're lifting you up.
Oh, yes. They're letting you know.
They keep us going.
Oh, yes.
And so I want to give a big thank you to our Patreons, because you guys, I mean, it's like having a second family that motivate you to do better, to do more. And if I do any more, I'm going to kill myself. Bam! No.
Not by yourself.
No,
though,
that's not
by
me.
yourself.
That's not me.
We're not going to let that happen.
But you know what I'm saying. The Patreons are a special group. Our sponsors are special sponsors. We could have other sponsors,
but we don't. There's a reason why. And so, you saw it Saturday.
Let me tell you this, guys. If you're listening to this show, you want to support the show, look down the show notes, go by and see what Case Elegance has. Check out the passport program from McAuliffe. Become an ambassador. Go by Jay's phone number and order the Tabaneros, or you can go to Tabanero website and order. But those guys support us. Go by and support them.
Yes, because that's what we're about.
You know what? Every year we're making new contracts with guys to keep this show on the air. And if you're supporting our sponsors, they keep supporting us.
So we can stay on the air.
Boom. And we say that like we're old men from the Jeffersons sitcom, on the air. We're on the air. No, we're not on the air. We're on the fucking internet. Boom. Anyway, guys, I would love to hear your feedback from those that watched the Streamathon. I know it wasn't what I had imagined, but it was something.
Yeah.
I saw 40 clowns with VD get out of a Volkswagen, and that was something.
This dude here, man.
That was something.
This dude here, man.
They all wanted some penicillin. Anyway, guys, that's going to be the end of this show. We've had a long week, so we're going to cut it short. But we hope you enjoyed the show. And until next time,
keep smoking.
Boom.